What is up, peeps? I meant to get in here yesterday and do a little mini training because something was coming through me. And, it's so interesting how my clients and the work that we do together and how it's just, we're so connected. This past week, just noticed that even for myself, like a lot of us experiencing feeling particularly unsafe. And, I've done trainings in the past on aligning your root chakra and nourishing your root chakra, because that is like our sense of safety in sense of like our basic human needs. And this goes a little bit beyond that. So what has been coming through me all week to really show up and assist and support my clients in feeling more anchored and just like more secure. And secure is a funny word. And it's noticing that so many of us, we try to seek security outside of ourselves, right? Like if I have this house, if I have the bank account, if I have the loving relationship, everything outside so that I can feel secure. But that security is actually so deeply rooted within us. However, we can lose that sense, and it really comes back to the role of our nervous system. And so our nervous system has kind of two operating centers. One is our sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for our fight or flight. And it's when we sense danger and we're in drive mode. And when we operate from that sympathetic drive, we are contracted. Like that's really the description, right? Like you go into fight or flight, you know it. You're tight and contracted. You're on high alert. Your heart rate is up. Your breathing rate is yellow. Eyes become dilated, which is a whole other training I can go into on when your eyes are dilated too much and you're taking in so many fractals of light, so many photons, so much information. It's an intense stimulus on the eyes. And again, that's a whole other training, but I'm gonna stay in the loop. I'm gonna stay targeted here Sunday evening, but I felt so called to share this out with as many people as I could, because I know what it's like to operate in this place of fight or flight all the time. So your blood vessels are constricted, your digestion shuts down, and not only that, your creative, cognitive, and complex thought centers, like in your brain, they stop. Feel-good hormones are suppressed, fatty acids are released into the bloodstream, your muscle energy starts to deplete. So we have a certain amount of energy that we store within our muscles that we use for, quick bouts of physical activity. Our water regulation pauses. And basically it's like terror and anxiety chemicals flooding the gates, like flooding the system. Even our gut bacteria wilts. It literally starts to wilt. And what's so radical is, here's the thing, our sympathetic nervous system is amazing. It is what has kept us alive for 100,000 years. It is not the driver. She ain't the queen, he ain't the king. But because we live in this constant state of fear, we have literally programmed ourselves to operate from sympathetic drive. So everything I just described is how we're living day to day. That was never intended. That is not our natural physical state, as you can well see and feel. And we live in this constant state of fear, and it creates an absolute like volatile environment for the body, for the chemistry of the body, and ultimately leads to so much disease, dysfunction, and death ultimately. And the kicker here is even our genetic expression gets altered, okay? And not to go into too much boring science, but I find it boring. To me, it's freaking magic that your DNA are comprised of chromosomes, right? And each DNA strand has something called a telomere, and a telomere is like it's like a pathway within the pathway. It's how messages get. DNA takes information and acts as a messenger to the brain to express certain genes that create our reality and create our identity. And when your telomeres start to shorten, your lifespan shortens, and stress creates that shortening, among other things. So it is not a good place to stay. Where we want to be is we want to be in a place of rest and relax 90% of the time. And if we're experiencing immense danger, boom, sympathetic nervous system kicks in. But for the other 90% of the time, our parasympathetic nervous system is like our rest and relax. And in this state, we are light and expansive, and we're calm. Our heart rate is strong and efficient, and our breathing is deep and it's synchronous. Our eyes are relaxed, our blood vessels are wide open, like our digestion is fluid, and our gut bacteria flourishes, and there's so much intelligence there. Again, that's a whole other training, but bottom line is our consciousness is heightened, our creativity is flowing, we have feelings of love, wonderment, and safety. Chemicals we're secreting create this kind of frequency, and that shapes our reality. So it's how do we turn time around, right? And we want to get it so that we click into being in a constant state of rest and relax with the opportunity to fly into fight or flight anytime we need to, when there's real danger. And so much goodness in this. I might do a part 2. Shoot me a comment. Let me know if you want to do a part 2. What I want to offer right now is a few exercises to really start to tune in and turn on your rest and relax. Because the bottom line is, if you're in a tight, constricted place, your heart literally is closed. And going through life with your heart closed is not only deadly, but freaking exhausting. And it feels bad, right? It feels bad because it's not part of our natural state. However, we've been conditioned in society to shut all our feelings down. Like that, like we have to think things through, and we have to do things that we should, and we're not allowed to feel. And we start to create a sense of fear all the time. We're just living in fear, right? And living from this sympathetic drive state. So how do we just calm down, open up, and allow our souls to just sink in and take residence in our beautiful bodies, in our natural state, and be in a state of peak existence, operating from that state of peak existence in harmony, right? And it gets effortless and beautiful. So when we're in rest all the time, our bodies have the opportunity, they have the spaciousness to digest information at an even rate, fuel and feelings, and we absorb what we need that helps us grow and flourish, and then simply discard the waste effortlessly. And we adjust seamlessly to changes in our external environment, right? And we are taking in so much in fear and then contracting and tightening up. So when you release yourself from this chronic stress state, that's where all the alchemy happens, right? The alchemical shifts take place in harmony. And your body literally unhooks from the burden of fight or flight. So I'm going to just offer a few exercises that you could do right now. Number one is more of a mental practice, and it's reframing your success story. What does success actually look like to you? So a certain way, and it has to be when you have a certain amount of money in the bank and you look a certain way in your body, the scale says a certain weight, you have the secure job, the benefit, the picket fence, and the marriage that looks like this, and the 2.5 kids, and everything. And that's great if that is in alignment with you feeling at peace and those things light you up. That's awesome. But not everyone fits into that. Not everybody wants to fit into that. And because you start to feel that pull, doesn't align for me, but this is what I was told I should do. So then you start to create this disconnect. and fear starts to build, and then you're operating out of fear. What is your definition of success? What I've come to lately is from one of my spiritual teachers, this beautiful, beautiful definition of success that is so simple. And I took a page from her notebook on this, and I created kind of my own check-in every night. And I asked myself this: did this day create an image that I will save to my phone? Right? Because we all do that. Like we, you know, something happens, we take a picture and we're like, oh, that one's getting saved, right? Versus the one that gets deleted. Did you create memories today that you want to keep? Yes. That each day you get to look back, you go to bed at night, and you're like, is this a day worth remembering? And this beautiful spiritual teacher that I took that from, Katarina Satori, I always want to make sure that I give credit where credit is due, that ask that question, is this a day you want to remember? That's so powerful. So I love kind of like, you know, are there any images from today that I would definitely want to keep on my phone? So just simply ask yourself that question, and it redefines success. And then just get to relax into more of like what moments am I creating for myself, for my family? What life experience am I choosing into? Instead of, I need to do all these things in order to feel this way. I need to do all these things because this is how it should be. And then that's success. And when I get the success, then I'll feel rested and relaxed. No, you call that in physiologically first. You make that conscious choice first. Second is, this is so fascinating. Like, I love sacred geometry. However, what I deeply love is the embodiment of sacred geometry. So what the heck do I mean by that? Well, again, whole other training, but basically we have sacred geometry within our physiology. It is so freaking cool. Everything in our body is actually like a puzzle that fits together perfectly. And I'm going to give you one exercise that is an example of this, and it is actually a great way to literally turn on, we stimulate the vagus nerve, which actually kind of gets us into a parasympathetic nervous system response of rest and relax. And so your knee fits perfectly into your armpit. Now, I don't know if I could show you on my deck here, but I'm going to try my best to do this. But you can do this like any position you want. You can literally go into kind of a forward lunge, right? And you just take your armpit and you lock it, and it literally will fit right on your kneecap. It's the most beautiful way. And once you lock it in there, you can give yourself a lymph massage with your own knee, or you can give your kneecap a massage with your armpit. But you lock these two like things on your body into place, and I feel it. I literally just feel like oxytocin being secreted, like this sense of like safety, because you actually have everything you require already inside of you. Everything you need is already here, right? So like even when you're feeling anxious, you still manage to go to the bathroom, sneeze, yawn, wake up in the morning. Like, so your body is still showing up in best support of your survival, even in the hardest of conditions. Does that not anchor you into so much safety? But anyway, when you lock your knee, and like when you do these things where you can feel your own body and how perfect it is and how it all fits together, you actually, you secrete feel-good chemicals. And again, you stimulate your vagus nerve to go into rest and relax, which is where you want to be. So second exercise. Third and last thing I'm going to offer is what I call the seat of your soul visualization. And I got this from a yoga practice that I absolutely adore. And then I created this visualization to really, again, create a sense of peacefulness in aligning with the rhythm of the universe that we go through for seasons. and we never doubt it. We know that it is happening. And we know, so there's one thing we can always find security in, and that is that everything changes. So whatever kind of shit moment you may be in right now, where you're feeling panicked or you're feeling anxious, if you just simply saying, you know what? It's temporary. Everything changes. I will not be in this state forever. And you just can let go and release into that knowingness that it's all temporary. And so this seed of your soul visualization, I actually, if you drop in the comments below, I actually have a visualization, a guided visualization audio. So if you want that, I will send it to you, where I walk you through this. And basically, and you can do it on your own, just, you know, it's close your eyes and starting to come into the awareness of your breath. And as you're breathing in, it's really locking in and sending energy and intention and attention to your belly, to like deep, deep, deep into your belly area. And as you're breathing in, you're going to start to think about the seasons, and you're going to literally start to create an energetic line. And you're going to drop down deeper than your belly into your root, into like your butt, right? Your perineum, like this nice, beautiful, low part of your body. And as you're breathing in, you're going to breathe in from that place, which is like winter, right? But you're going to breathe in from that place, slowly take the slowest breath. And as you're inhaling and expanding, you're coming up through your energy center. And as you're breathing in slowly, you're going to imagine you're coming into spring, where you're planting the seed of your soul, and you're expanding, and you're growing, and you're taking in that oxygen, and you're passing through spring, and that breath is coming in into the top of your head, and you're blooming into summer, into the most beautiful, magnificent flower or juicy, delicious fruit. And then you're going to start to exhale. And as you exhale, you're going to release and you're going to relax into fall, into the harvest, into the bounty where you get to actually eat that wonderful fruit and feel its nourishment. You're going to take all that nourishment in. And as you're exhaling, getting every last bit of air out of your lungs, you're sinking down into winter. And winter's beautiful. It's a clearing. So you're clearing everything out. You're digesting, emptying out, time of reflection back into the base, and completely emptied. You get to start again. That is so freaking safe. And it's a beautiful, and again, I have a full visualization that walks through it very, very slowly, but just if you're feeling like wonky and anxious, come back to the breath, all right? The breath brings you into the present moment in an instant. But if you want to go one deeper, connect your breath with the seasons and just say, it is temporary. Everything changes. I am a part of this universe, and it's seasonal. And I get to just bring yourself into the rhythm of it. And again, the physiology here is freaking huge, because it's not just about breathing in deeply, getting oxygen circulating. It is literally allowing your body to secrete thousands of healing chemicals and start to turn on this vagus nerve and stimulate your rest and relax. You come into this physiological, peaceful place, and you're embodying peace. You're not just thinking, I want to feel more calm. What about actually embodying it? So those are some exercises that you can snap those in every night. Is there an image that I would save to my phone today from this day? That's success, friends, right? Sacred geometry in your physiology. So give yourself a little armpit knee check and massage. It's anchored to safety. And then the seed of your soul visualization. So purifying and so anchoring. So hope that was helpful on a beautiful evening. And I am going to go and enjoy my family. And I hope that you do too. And hopefully this was recording, because my computer froze. What do you know? Well, I hope that was enjoyable. Have a great night. Bye.